Another big shoulder roll. Sorry, I just hit record and it is only filming me, not you guys. Palms forward. Let's breathe in, reach up, balancing on those toes. And release. This time at the bottom of that stretch, hands behind your legs, pull yourself in for a hug. And then release, rolling up slowly and shoulder roll. Then we're going to take the legs out wide. Arms also. One palm up, one down. Turn to look at the palm that's up. Full rotation of the neck. And then we swap arms and head turn the other way. Swap back. And keep going side to side, rotating shoulders and the neck. So this is an upper quadrant exercise, helping us to cog, using the natural cogs of our body to work with and against each other. 3, 2, 1. Return to center. Take a breath in. On the breath out, we're going to reach to the opposite ankle or foot. Breathe in, return back up tall. Breathe out, reach and stretch and back up. One hand across the body, other hand behind. You can reach to the ceiling or just behind the hips is fine. You can bend the knees if you need to get extra distance. Keeping them straight will give you extra stretch. That's it. And this is really nice for getting that blood pressure and heart rate adjusted to exercise. And last one, reach and stand. Hands on hips, turn the knees out, sumo squat position. So we come down a little lower, knees tracking same direction as the toes. Couple of little pulses there. Nice. Knees are still following the point of the toes. Don't let them drop forwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold if you can. Straighten up if you can't. Balancing here for heel raises. One foot, then the other. Just getting the heels up, but our pelvis and hips are staying low. So the whole body's not lifting and lowering. It's just the ankles and knees moving. Trying to get really good bend through the big toe especially. And if you've been coming a while or you like that challenge, you can try for a double, both feet at once. 3, 2, 1. Straighten up, shake, shake, shake. Walk your feet back in underneath you. Very goodly. Another little balance exercise. We're going to float the arms forward. It's the coordination happening as well here. We're going to go up onto our toes. Then we drop one heel back to the floor. Do this side on. So we're up on toes and we drop one heel and lift one arm overhead. Then arms forward as we lift back onto toes. Other heel drop, other arm. And the other one down, but don't worry. Back to center. Switch. Back to center, floating up and switch. Onto toes, drop one heel. Onto toes, drop the other heel. Onto toes, arms switch. Arms forward, arms switch. It does not matter which heel and which arm move together. It doesn't need to be the same. It doesn't need to be opposites. It's just coordinating the arm switch with the heel drop. Balancing at the top. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Well done. From there, we take one step forward. So if you're on your mat, you can do a split stance for me here. Good old hip flexor stretch. So as you recall, we take the heel off the floor, push the hips forward by bending the front leg. And then it's opening up that hip. From there, we're going to reach both hands forward and overhead. Push the hips further forwards towards the mat. And arms come back to the front of the chest. We're going to lean onto our front leg into what we call an arabesque balance hold. Balancing as well as you can on that front foot, sorry. The back toe can stay down if you're fully wobbly today, or float that toe up. Lean forwards, breathe and hold. 3, 2, 1. Release. Switch it around. Split stance the other way. Take the heel up, push the hips forward, bending that front knee. Once you feel pretty well balanced there, we reach the arms up, keep leaning the hips forward. That gives us an even bigger stretch in those deep hip flexors. Some of you might not feel it, but it is doing a job. Then the balance. The hands come forward. We lean over that front foot. Take the back toe just off the ground or float it up higher. Lean the chest forwards like you're peering over the edge of a cliff. Wobble but hold with control, or reset if you've overbalanced. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I fell out of that one. Come on down. Well done. So still in that split stance, but we come straight down now to kneeling. Hopefully you've got a soft surface there below. I'll just change my camera angle. So just on those knees, don't worry, you don't need to see my face right now. If your feet are happy to have them flat, you can have toes tucked though. That's actually a bit easier for balance if you are wobbly. And then we're going to take the hands forward. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, just lean the body back. Breathe in, pull forward. So tummy and thighs working together here to pull you forwards. We breathe out, lean back, control. Breathe in, pull back up. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out. And I know it's tough on the knees. If you can tolerate it, keep going. It actually gets much, much better at this if you can persist through a bit of discomfort. 2. Last one. Well done. Straight down onto your hands. Good. So knees roughly under those hips. Hands slightly forwards of shoulders. Push your chest away from the mat. Roughly neutral spine, so we're not kind of just hanging there. We're going to hold ourselves in straight line, and then the head as well stays up in line with the spine. Arms only first. We reach one hand forward, sweep around to the side of the hip, then back down to the mat. Other arm stretch, sweep around, and return down. Reach, sweep, and down. So as you reach one arm and move it around, the other arm, the one you're pushing on, that weight-bearing arm, has to stabilize and connect through our abdominals to that foundational pelvis. So even though we're thinking of the moving arm, it's the stationary arm doing lots of work. And if that does not feel nice on your wrists or shoulders, feel free to lay on your tummy and just do a single arm reach and return. Doing all right so far, well done. So still thinking of square through the hips, nice flat back, lifting the chest slightly away from the floor. We've still got a few more arm sweeps to go. Head stays up in line with the spine. We've got, what's this, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Then just a little stretch back into child's pose. far as your knees and hips allow, okay? The arms are going to gently, or the hands or the elbows, whatever's touching the floor, push it heavier into the mat. Just for an active stretch of the latissimus dorsi and a little bit of lower traps, rhomboids, muscles around the shoulder blades. And then we're back up to hands and knees again. Wait for the option if you need it, okay? If you don't like this position for any reason, really. We're going to tuck the toes. You know what's coming. Going into a knee hover only. So you can do this on elbows. We're going to lift it and hover the knees an inch or two off the ground. So again, strong thighs, strong tummy, strong shoulders and chest. Hold and breathe. If you're in that hold, keep hover, keep breathing. The other option here is on the elbows, knee hover, or fully on your tummy, just lift the tummy off the ground. A little lift of the tummy. Keep breathing for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down. Well done. And straight into our swimming level 4. I totally forgot the name of it then, which is just our opposite arm and leg stretch, okay? What you've done hundreds of times in the past, most of you. So opposite arm, opposite leg, stretch and reach away, return to the mat. Stretch and reach away, return to the mat. It's not that easy though, of course. We've got to focus on keeping lower back steady. We don't want to dip the spine into extension. The arm and the leg don't have to come all the way up to horizontal. Just what you can manage on the day. If you go too high, you will find your back moves into an arch, into extension, and that's actually what we're trying to avoid. We want the tummy, those deep core muscles, to help control our spinal position, just to give us a little bit more activation through those muscles that work so hard to look after us. Alternatively, you've probably already been there, but you can do opposite arm and leg stretch from the floor if you're fully down in prone, which is on your tummy. Opposite arm, opposite leg, lift just off the floor and return. My head is up so you can hear me, but you can rest your head down if you're in this position. Good. Remembering not to lower that head under your chest. We're here for a little bit longer. 4, don't rush. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Everybody now rounding that back into child's pose if you prefer, or if you're on the floor, rest and relax. And then come down to the mat on your tummy and join me here. So stay propped up if you need to see. If you can see, that's fine. Otherwise, follow along as I prompt you. We do want to rest our head on those hands eventually, so there's no tension through the neck and shoulders. So that's where I'd like to be eventually. But if you need to see, that's absolutely fine. It's legs only. And it's a little push of that little pubic bone into the ground. So try to, leave that pubic bone an impression into your mat. And then it's single leg lift and lower, alternating sides. But a lot of the work is actually done where we're not moving. So holding the pubic bone down into the ground, head and shoulders relaxed, elbows just out wide. Rest your head unless you're watching, and breathe. So remember, as firm of a pressure through the pubic bone into the mat. Even if you can't fully connect it down, as long as you are trying, you'll be using the right muscles. It just takes a little bit of the load away from our back and puts it into the legs where we want it. better muscle pattern activation. So which muscle's working first, second, third, etc. Even though they're all the team. And 4, 3, 2, 1. If there was pain for anybody, just wait a sec. I'll show you something different. If you're feeling okay, continue that pubic bone pressure. Float both knees, both legs up off the ground, and a tiny flutter kick, tiny little freestyle kick for me. If there is pain for you doing that one, I want you to bend your knees and just continue with alternating leg lifts and lowers. So these are donkey kicks, lifting the heel up towards the ceiling, one at a time, not both together. So you're either doing a double leg flutter or a single leg donkey kick with pubic bone pressure and head and shoulders relaxed and breathing. Either one. Looking good, looking strong. And don't forget to relax those shoulders. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And legs down. Forget the legs. Rest your forehead down on your mat. Again, unless you need to see me, those arms are going to stretch down back next to your hips. You can float the forehead and nose just off the floor if that's more comfortable for you. Just figure it out, whatever works. Then from here, it's all about our shoulders and our upper back. So what we're going to try to do is bring the shoulder blades towards each other, squeezing a 5-cent piece between those shoulder blades. Hands are still in contact with the floor. Then relax the shoulders back to the mat. So the collarbones are going to stretch apart, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then relax back, falling down. Going again, pull back, squeeze shoulder blades together, and drop down. So we're opening the chest as we close the space between the shoulder blades in the back, and return. One more time. Lift the shoulder blades back and squeeze and hold here. From there, I'd like your thumbs to face the floor, little fingers up to the ceiling, float the arms up off the ground, still squeezing shoulder blades back, and then hands and shoulders return and relax. Shoulders first, squeeze and lift together, then float the hands off the floor, hands back down, shoulders back down. Again, shoulders first, then the hands up, hands down, shoulders down. Legs are still relaxed. We're not lifting through the lower back. It's all to do with shoulder blades, okay, and arms. Once again, shoulders back, hands up, hands down, shoulders down. So shoulders are key. If you lift the hands and not the shoulders, you're going to just dump forwards into an impingement position. So shoulder blades back, hands up, hands down, shoulders down. Well done. Now to combine the two, we're going to do a double leg lift, pushing your pubic bone into the ground. Hold there. You can add the flutter if you're feeling really comfortable today. Then shoulder blades back, float the arms up, arms down, shoulders down. Keep the legs going. Shoulders back, arms up, hands down, shoulders down. Now remember, you can leave the legs out of it if you prefer, if you do have lower back pain, but this is perfectly safe for anyone and everyone. It's not going to damage any tissues, not going to injure you, but you just might not tolerate it if you have got something going on today with pain. So legs are up, shoulders are up, hands are up, hands down, shoulders down, legs remain. 2 more. Shoulders, hands, hands, shoulders, shoulders, hands, hands, shoulders, and legs down. Hands come under the chest, neck under the shoulders. Elbows on the floor for me, so you might need to move the hands wider or whatever. Elbows on the floor. Lift the head, lift the chest. Just looking forwards with a proud breastbone. Then lower back, nose taps the floor. Lift the head, lift the chest. Shoulders back. Good. These are mini cobras. This is upper back extension. Some of you will be very stiff and you may not get as much movement as me. I have excessive thoracic movement, lucky me. But just work with what you've got, okay? So the head and the chest comes forward, and that's enough. Come back down. This time we're going to push a little higher using our arms onto the elbows, lifting just the top of the diaphragm away. Lovely. And back down. One more. Float the head, the chest, diaphragm, and down. And if you know you can and you feel comfortable, all the way up onto those hands, lift the tummy away from the ground. Shoulders are not at the ears. They're dropped away. Beautiful, looking lovely. And return. Now brace through those tummy muscles, hands underneath. Push all the way back up to hands and knees. Quick little round rainbow stretch or cat stretch. Drop the head. Push the chest and tummy away from the floor. Drop back to child's pose if it feels good. And back up. And then just slowly switch onto your side here. I'm going to do a quick blitz of our oblique and glutes. So on your elbow, we did these last week. So if you know your shoulder doesn't tolerate this, then feel free to leave out the elbow prop and lay straight down on your side like this. Otherwise, we're here, elbow under shoulder, pushing into the mat. Ribs are away from the floor. Imagine that candle underneath. We stay off the flame. Good. Starting with clams in this position. So if you're comfortable, straight up, straight down with that top knee, you can pull the feet further behind you to make it easier. Up to you. The 2 points of real concern for me are the shoulder and the ribs. So if your elbow's too far out, you might feel a pinch. Bring it further under you and push it into the floor. Those ribs are up, not dumping down. I call this sexy shoulder position. This is not so sexy. So lift it up. Legs, clam, shell, lift and lower. And if you have a good hold of the rib cage up, you're not going to roll the whole body with the knee lifts, okay? And that's perfect. Everything's doing its job. And hopefully you're feeling a little shaky, a little fatigued already. Last one. And then we take the top leg out straight. Lift it just off the ground if you can. Keep the ribs up as well. Top hand up, breathe in. On the breath out, we go under. Turn the chest to the floor. Breathe in, lift back up. Good. Breathe out under, twist, look down. Breathe in, lift. Lift the ribs as well. Breathe out, twist under. Breathe in, back up. And then hand comes overhead. Breathe in, long stretch. Up to the knee, elbow to knee. Long stretch away. Then up, breathe. Keep pushing your elbow into the mat. Keep that shoulder sexy. Last one. Stretch. Bring it up together. And then come down with the leg, down with the hand, down with the hips, into that side lie position. Bring the top leg in front of the tummy, bottom leg out straight. Bottom leg, lift and lower. Very basic. It's nice after what we've just done. So your head should be relaxed. Should not be any neck tension. If there is, find a different position. Roll further forwards, further back. A little bit of an elbow, hand support if that is required. Good. Lift and lower for 3, 2, 1, and down. We're going to bring those legs back together, push up to side sitting, and try to reach over the head, same direction as the toes pointing. Stretch out the leg if you need to. Stay in that same stretch. Use your other hand to support you in any direction that you need. We're going to turn the chest down And try to reach onto your shin or your knee and pull yourself into a ball, really round down in that super stretch. And then we open up, extend, and switch around to the other side. Starting on the elbow. Okay, when you're ready. So, same setup as before, feet further back to make it easier, ribs up, elbow down, sexy shoulder, or fully laying down is okay as the option. Then it's clams. Clamshells, as you know, we're trying to recruit these muscles here in their back pocket, your glute med in particular. But isolating muscle groups like this does have its purpose. Ribs up, sexy shoulder, good space between the shoulder and your ear. If that strains on your neck somehow, feel free to look down at your elbow to take off the load. And another 3 here. And that's the last one. Good job. Take the top leg out, tap the floor, and then lift just above. Hand up to the ceiling. Take a big breath in, breathe out, curl under, look to the floor, then back up, lift the ribs. Again, under, twist down, breathe in, lift those ribs. And again, under, twist, and back up, open. Then overhead, keep the leg pushed away. Then we bring elbow to knee above. Stretch it long, elbow to knee. Stretch away, elbow to knee. One more, stretch away, elbow to knee. Then leg returns, hands return. We stretch out long on the floor and bring that top leg in front of the tummy. Bottom leg straight. Bottom leg lift and lower. Beautiful. Nice and simple. And 3, 2, 1. And leg down. Bring those knees together again. Pushing straight up to sitting. And if you're okay, to move right over into that mermaid stretch. Otherwise, unfold a leg or 2. And come over into the side bend. So try to hold, we're extending through from the shoulder, down the side to the hip, pouring water up and out of our hand. Stay there, turn the chest down, reach onto your knee or shin or somewhere there, try to pull into a twisted ball, rounding down. Good, then release and spin around lengthways on your mat. Stay sitting, yes. Knees bent. For beginners, hands on or under knees. For those who have been a while, hands forwards. Starting with the rock backs, same as last week. So we breathe into set, breathe out, tuck off the sit bones, just round through the lower back. Breathe in, up and tall. Breathe out, round and roll. Breathe in, back up tall. Hands here if you need it, just for a bit of arm support. If the core's not quite strong enough to do that. If you're feeling really good, really strong, you can certainly go further back. So it's almost like a reverse sit-up. Roll back, breathe out, breathe in, pull up. As you pull up, it's actually a pull up through the pelvic floor as well. So if you can imagine drawing the bladder further up inside of you as you lift tall there. Breathe out, breathe in. Got one more. Well done. Hands behind. Big shoulder stretch, press the boobies up to the ceiling. Then if that's okay on your wrists and shoulders, you can try to lift your hips as well. Reverse plank. Only do what suits you. 3, 2, 1. Come back down. And now adding rotations. So everybody hands up for me here. Breathe in, sit tall, breathe out. Rock back, twist and reach one hand behind you. Then back up to center, sit tall. Other side. Reach and rotate and back up, sit tall. Good. This is heavy duty. So long as it's pain-free, go as far as you like. If there's a bit of discomfort and you're not sure, add an elbow tuck instead of a long lever. That straight arm reach, you can just do a little elbow poke back. One side, then the other. Excuse me, 2 more to go. And then again into that reverse plank when you're ready. So it can be just that big press of the chest, shoulder blades are back, or you can lift the hips as well. Chest up, hips up. Breathe and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And down, legs straight. Sit tall. We're going to fold forwards first. Breathe in, lift the ribs up, up, up. Forward stretch. Try to get your toes. Then roll back up. A full roll down and stay down here at your own pace. You can hold on to one leg for a cheat sway down if you know you need to. Once you're down, long stretch. Also, it's too late now, but you can take the side lying option for those that need it as well. And now, long stretch just to open up through the tummy muscles and the ribs, the hips. And then we're going to keep the hands overhead if they're comfy there, or out to the side in a T shape, if that's where your shoulders need to be. Then we walk the feet up, so knees are bent, feet flat. We're going to put pressure down through the ground in our big toe, little toe, and heel. Equal pressure points. Breathe in to prepare. On the breath out, we scoop through the tummy, lift our hips up to the ceiling. Hold. Keeping your hips up in your bridge position. Tuck of the tailbone. Then the arms come up and over to the thighs. Then back overhead, big stretch. Arms back to the thighs. Breathe in, reach overhead. Breathe out to the thighs. So if you're going wide, that's fine. Open to the sides and then back to the thighs. The hips are up, tail tucked. Good. And sustain that lift for 2 more arm raises. Last one. Hands back down to your hips and to the floor. Stay here in your bridge still. If you're feeling it in your back, lower the height of that bridge slightly. Tuck, repress the feet into the floor to tuck that tail some more. Then we've got single heel raise, one foot, then the other. So one heel lift and lower, then the other heel lift and lower. Still keeping hips up in bridge. Good. We're trying to get lots of bang for our buck here. Tail end of the class. Keep breathing, keep working. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower those hips. Roll down slowly. Reset, wiggle, wiggle. Going up again when you're ready. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, lift into bridge. This time it's a full leg march, so it's bringing the whole foot off the floor. Lift the knee and return down. Other side, lift and lower. I'm not sure if you can hear my baby crying in the background. Poor fella. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet down, breathe in, hold those hips up, breathe out, roll back down again. Excellent work, ladies. Hug the knees up and over your tummy. Wiggle the ankles if you like. Just have a little roll, massage the back. One more little blitz of our tummy, our core muscles. Deliberately targeting those deep core. So, few options. Try them all or wait until you see which level you know you can do. But we're going to start with our legs in tabletop, which can be hard enough. So knees are over the hips or just over the lower tummy. Roughly horizontal shins, okay? They don't need to be perfect. Hands down beside us. Palms up is nice to open the shoulders and relax the shoulders. Lower back neutral, not arched excessively away from the floor. Holding. Well done. Then we go to toe tap straight away. So breathe in to prepare, breathe out, tap one foot, breathe in, lift. Breathe out, other foot, tap, breathe in, lift. So it's a slow movement, controlled movement with your breathing at your rhythm. So if you're breathing faster, you might like to move a little faster. As each foot taps the floor, we don't want to see the ribs flaring or the back arching excessively away from the mat. So we do need to keep all those stationary points. Imagine a blueberry underneath you. We've talked about this quite a bit. You want to hug the blueberry underneath you, but don't squish it. Also, imagine that lifting sensation through your pelvis, through those pelvic floor muscles. So there's lots to go through the brain here. By breathing out as we tap down, breathing in as you lift up. Tapping close to the bottom, close to the sit bones is easier. You can tap further away for more challenge. You can add hand support on the non-moving leg to make it easier. 4, 3, 2, 1. Then keep going, but faster pace, okay? So we go a tap, 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 tap. Switch, 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 switch. Breathing in for 2, breathing out for 2. Breathing in, out, in, out. 1, 2, 1, 2. Tummy strong, lower back hugging that blueberry, ribs are soft, shoulders relaxed. If you can't manage that, slow it back down to the slower taps. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Feet down, knees together, rock side to side. Active recovery. Well done, well done. Bit of endurance challenging in there too. All right. Then I'm going to get you just to come back to center, cross one ankle over the knee, float the foot off the floor, hug those legs up over the tummy towards the chest, wherever you can get them. Should be a hip stretch or a hamstring stretch. Well done, ladies. Release that. Swap it over. Other ankle. Crisscross. Use your arms to help lift if you need. Hug them wherever you can get them to. Thank you for joining me. What a successful morning. We did run through it quite quickly. We're just a couple minutes slower starting, and that's no problem. That just happens. Often it's me running late too. Let's relax that one as well now. Roll onto your sides. Push up to side sitting. Then I want you to come into butterfly stretch for me. So that's feet together, knees out. If you can't do that, totally fine to do one and then the other. Usually that's doable. So if your feet can be together, you can lean forward, elbows just gently pushing onto your legs, or up tall, pull the chest forward. Still stretches the same muscle group. Different pressures on the back. Good. Swap legs if you're doing singles. Back off, re-stretch. And then bring it back, knees together, roll onto hands and knees. And we are going to downward dog our way up. All right, so only those that know you can. If you can't, just step forwards however you like. We're going to push up, hips up high, straighten the legs as best as you can. Walk the hands to the feet or the feet to the hands. Up, 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 up to standing. Palms forward, quite a nice big breath in, toes or not, doesn't matter. And then just out to behind for a chest stretch. You should have wonderful posture after today's class. We did a lot of posterior chain, which is the back side of the body, okay? Especially up in the top, upper back and hips. Let that go. And you are done for another week or another day, depending on.
Thank you, Sally.
Pleasure. Well done, everyone.
Thank you, Sally. Sorry about the hiccup. Don't know where the remote is.